Do you know who's out there? Is that, hey, Tash? Yeah, I know that, but there's Ella Gilligan, there's Tyler Scott. Who's the other one? Is it Jake Jackson? Chase Hamilton, righto, thank you. Oh, good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Exford. We're here at the Melbourne Runabout Club. Club Day here for 2023, and we do have junior boats out on the water as we speak. They've just kicked off, the kids out there now, and looks like we've got a race leader at the moment of Tyler Scott, or it could actually be Chase Hamilton as we just watch him come down, just picking it up on the screen. We are also live, Hydro live streaming, so welcome everybody in Australia and around the world as we see boats now. It is Tyler Scott out in front in the Aquasonic, then it's back to Chase Hamilton in the flat out, or whatever we've decided to call that boat here today. Changes names fairly regularly, doing a good job in second spot, and the lovely Ellen Idri in the B&R running in third place at the moment. Should be a great day here this weekend, folks. Not a lot of boats, but the boats here are quality, and we've got some new boats on the waters too. Very excited to see Michael Johnson, and of course the Cavs Auto Parts boat as well, Lee Kavanagh with Brenton Walsh doing driving duties in that new boat as well. So a couple of very, very strong 6-litre boats here this weekend. So that'll be quite exciting as well. We've also got a few other quality boats in the field as well. Great to see Dean Borg over here. Tyler Scott just doing it very, very nicely here in the juniors at the moment as he cruises through. He's got a very, very strong lead there on Chase Hamilton in the flat out. I don't have a list currently, folks. I don't know if the boat's still called flat out. It used to be called flat out when it was in the Jackson family, but could be called anything now. It might be called the Chase and Dad, or the Chase and Cash, or the who knows. And rounding out the field, Ella Nidri in BNR. Great to see Ella out on the water. Had a quick chat with her this morning, and she's very, very keen for a big day today. And these kids are going to get plenty of track time here this weekend, so it should be absolutely fantastic. Great test and tune day. We're doing some testing and tuning here at GP Hydro live streaming as well, with Big Neil on the camera. We've got Paulie on camera too, and of course Scott. And we've got Tilly on board as well. Great job in the tower in the OB van, and another lap ticked up there for Tom Scott as he goes there. Just running very, very solid at the moment. Chase Hamilton doing a very, very nice job. Beautifully prepared Jackson Marine boat, that particular machine. Boat number 57, and he's going very nicely. And then Ella rounding out the field, so starting to spread out. Not sure how many laps we're doing for the kids here this morning, but I'm sure we'll keep an eye on the flags and we'll see what transpires as they roll through. But it's going to be very, very hard to beat in this one. Massive thank you to the MRSBC putting on these club days. These club days do still cost plenty of money to put on in terms of insurance and sanctioning and all the things that need to happen to make a boat race happen. So it's really great to be able to get boats on the water here, and so far the weather looks like it's hanging in okay. We've got some patchy black cloud just lurking around a little bit here, and checkered flag comes out, so that is a win there for Tyler Scott in the flat out. Great effort from him. Second place will be Chase Hamilton in the, and I'll get a name on that boat, formerly known as Flat Out, might still be known as Flat Out. You know what they say, folks, experts make the same mistakes for more complex reasons. And coming through to round out the field is the lovely Ella Nidri in the BNR racing machine. set of flames on that boat. We all know that a set of flames are worth at least 2 to 3 miles per hour, top end. Probably give you a little bit of acceleration too, I would have thought.
All the camera is on Paul.
So as you see Chase Hamilton just coming into the pits there now. Good run for him. He won't be too happy about getting beaten, but go to work on that boat as the day goes through. That's a good thing about these test and tune days. You get plenty of time on the water and you get plenty of time to get dialed in. That's what it's all about for the big event. So we've got 6 leader boats heading out onto the water now. We've got Dean Borg in the Performance heading onto the water. Race for this boat, so very excited to see it out on the water. It's got a very, very tricky engine combination in it, built by Lee Kavanagh at Kavanagh Auto Parts.
Neil, shake your camera if you hear me. Roger that. I'm going to change your transmitter because it's pixelating every so often.
And for those of you watching at home, we've just got, as you can probably see, just a couple of issues with the footage coming through a little bit jolty at the moment. So we're actually working on that as we speak. So with us, and we're just trying to clear that up now as we speak. So we'll keep running through. Dean Borg there, the Performance boat, all the way over from South Australia. Very, very quick boat. Dean had a little bit of a bingle here last time he was here in his supercharged boat. And unfortunately that boat no longer with us, but Dean jumping back in this boat and trying to get a little bit of seat time in it, which is great. Brenton Walsh, of course, first race meeting for this boat. They've been doing a fair bit of testing with the Cavs machine, and he just starts lining it up and leaning on it a little bit down the back straight away. Hope everybody enjoyed the Adelaide race meeting, which is on 7 May. Last weekend, we certainly enjoyed bringing it to you as well. So Walsh really starting to lean on this Cavs machine now, and the boat sounds fantastic as he fires down the back straight away. Quite a big rooster tail coming out the back of that boat as well. Lee Kavanagh just standing up here in the pits. Watching his charger go around. Big roost coming out the back of that boat, throwing plenty of spray out the back. Boat sitting really, really nicely indeed. Lee looks suitably impressed standing up there watching his charger go around. So just a warm up for these couple of boats. And Dean Borg just enjoying some seat time in that particular Cavs boat as well. So a big welcome to everybody watching on the live stream and everybody here on site. Looking forward to a good fun day today, and thank you for the nice comments coming through from everybody. My old mate, he was coming over and he's done his back. That's no good, mate. Must have rolled over on the couch in the wrong manner. All right, so 25 horsepower boats, and this is Sammy Martin in her new boat. Not sure what we're calling this one at the moment, but it's an interesting looking little rig. It's got a stumpy nose. It looks a bit like Neil Cullis. Looks a bit like for the ski racing fans out there. Cam will know what I'm talking about here, but it looks a bit like a Bernico, a miniature Bernico, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'll tell you what, though, it's cracking along quite nicely. I saw Sammy was having a little bit of trouble getting it started earlier on, and we're just watching it come down the front straight away now. Just doing a bit of walking around that boat, a little bit of chine walking. It's certainly cracking along nicely, but oh, yeah, there you go, a bit of a hook. This is a brand new boat, so obviously they'll be well and truly in the sorting out stages of this machine. But she's certainly not scared of it. She's first time out and tipping it in hard, but Timmy, she might have to get a little bit busier on the steering wheel in that boat, I think. It's wanting to walk around, you know, bullet-esque style, and the only way to control that is to be busy on the wheel. Probably not something Sammy's had to do in previous boats, so she'll need to get the elbows up, I think, in this one, but certainly looks quick. This is one of your own creations, Timbo. So Timmy Martin from the Fiberglass Shed, just up here now, folks. But this is his own design. Looks quick, son. Looks very quick. Sammy's going to have to obviously get a little bit used to driving it. It's quite a lively little boat. Has it been out? Oh, Tim's gone. I've lost him now. I was just going to ask whether it's actually been out on the water at all, this particular boat. Not sure. Yeah, definitely looked speedy, but as I say, Sammy's going to have to get busy on the wheel of that boat because it wants to walk around, and it's certainly going to keep her entertained, I would suggest. More boats heading out onto the water now. Okay, so we've got the Madam hitting the water now, which is another very, very quick 105 mile an hour category boat running a 6 litre engine. Not sure who we've got in the driver's seat. It may be Max Steve. So just getting their warm-up done this morning as well. This is a very, very quick boat. Good. These days, but certainly runs in that 105, 95, 85 category, and a very competitive boat in those categories as well. been great categories for these boats to still continue to be able to race somewhere. And Tommy just getting some temperature into that engine and gearbox. And Leslie Tamata now heads out onto the water in the Rattler. Les, very experienced campaigner. Didn't have a great weekend at Yarrawonga. He was crook, actually. He had the flu. Yarrawonga, and he really struggled. The rough water and the physical exertion required at that particular track. When you're not feeling good, it's certainly hard work. But Madam now starting to sound good. In fact, Tommy Webster looks like he's happy with the warm-up and hopefully happy with everything he's seeing on the dash. And he'll bring that boat around into the pits. Les Tamata now on the track and just getting some temperature into this Rattler machine. Been very, very quick over many years, Leslie Tamata. I'm back. That's right. No, but I need to... So big Leslie Tamata. Leslie Tamata out on the course and running around now, starting to lean on the boat a little bit. Boat sounding very, very strong indeed. In fact, boat looks and sounds terrific. Big Les doing a nice job out there. And gee, you'd have to think he'd be happy with the way the boat's performing. It looks beautiful. Sitting with the spray just coming about 3/4 down the back of the boat, and he tips it in good and hard, make sure that all the cavitation plate system's doing everything that it should be. And I think Les will be, I would expect him to be quite happy with that one. Big shout out to a few of the boys, a few of the ski racing boys watching this morning. Greggy Wheeler and Pixie. Good on you, Pixie. Hope you're enjoying the racing. Hope you got something going on today. Don't know when the Tigers are playing, but I hope they win for you too, mate. But, Ken McDonald just tuning in as well. Welcome aboard, Ken. And Jasper Coastworth, Kane Charles. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed today's racing. Just a little club day today. We're going to be playing around with some different stuff in our live stream here. So bear with us if we don't get everything right. It's because we're trying a few different things today. It looks like Tommy Webster just sneaking back out. Maybe just made a small adjustment there, or just a couple of checks as he heads back out the back straightaway. And Leslie Tamata with the hatch up, just bringing that boat back in. Hopefully happy with what he's seeing. Now we saw Ellen Nidri there out on the water earlier on this morning, but now we got Dad out there, Brett Nidri in the BNR. So Brett, of course, engine builder to the stars, and this boat's just been getting quicker and quicker. It's got the Toyota Racing Development 6-litre NASCAR engine in it, built by Toyota Racing Developments, but then heavily modified by Brett himself to obviously in NASCAR there's a whole bunch of rules they have to comply to. In powerboat racing it just has to be 6-litre, naturally aspirated, so you can effectively do what you like. Now I might try and get Sammy Martin just have a little chat, because Sammy, you'll have to come down and sit next to me here, Dale, because I'm all wired up. I can't move around much. Sammy, you would have seen Sammy, folks, just out on the water before running around in the brand new boat. First time on the water, Sammy?
Yeah, it is. I'm very excited.
Mate, the boat looks very lively on the water. It looked a little bit twitchy in a straight line. What are your thoughts on that?
I just need to learn how to drive it and then I'll be good. But let's hope, I drive it well today. Yeah. Just
with those types of boats, and it's a little bit like the type of boat that I've spent my life driving, what we call chine walk and rock from side to side, which is probably not something you've experienced too much in your career.
No. I don't know what that means.
Well, you need to speak to your father, because he's one of the best in the business at driving those things, but just a little bit more steering wheel input required, but that's going to be a quick boat, I reckon.
Yeah, hopefully quicker than my other one, but I guess we'll see how it goes today. But yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun.
Good to get out and test it, mate, so good luck today. Have a good time.
Thank you, you too.
Well done, Sammy Martin there out in her new boat today. As Nidri starts to lean on the BNR entry. And that boat looking very strong, as it always does. We don't really expect any problems with Nidri when he goes out. Boat always looks spectacular, always performs beautifully. Of course, Brett has one. Oh, jumps out of the water and gets a little bit of a rev there, but he settles it back down. Brett, of course, has won a world championship in Grand Prix hydroplane, so going fast on water is absolutely no stranger to this man. Displacement boats, he hasn't had as much experience in as he certainly had in the hydroplane categories. Having said that, the last 2 or 3 seasons he's been running this boat around now, so he's had a lot of seat time. And the thing about having a guy like Brett Nidri doing your engines and doing his own engines is that he gets a lot of seat time, because his stuff is super reliable. So he's not spending time getting towed in and paddling, he's spending time in the seat going quickly. So he's just getting better and better in this boat, and the man can drive. He's also a very clever engineer. So great to see Brett out on the water this morning. Hopefully he's happy with all the things that he's seeing there. RPM, temperatures and pressures. Hatch pops open. And BNR, as always, looking beautiful on the water. We'll take a little break, folks. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Hope you're enjoying this morning here. We'll get the warm-ups done, and then we'll get into a couple of races. Can't wait. Rightio, welcome back everybody, and we've got our junior boats out on the water again, and we're doing dock starts with the juniors, so they got started off the ramp. And have a look at this, we got Ella Nidri in the B&R leading this one. I'm not 100% sure if it was a handicap start or whether she just jumped the pack. Chase Hamilton into second place. And race number one's winner, Tyler Scott, in the Aquasonic. These boats running the 15 horsepower. Beautiful black Mercury engines, the only colour an outboard engine should be. Tall, dark and handsome on any transom, Ray. But can Ella hold these two hard charges off? That's going to be the question. Doing a great job down the front straight away at the moment. We've got Eric Sellett, reckons it looks cold and miserable. It's not that cold actually, it's pretty good. Certainly not icy like it has been in Victoria the last couple of weeks. So Eric, you should be here, mate. You'd be enjoying the racing live. Tyler Scott starting to make a little bit of a move here down into the bottom turn. So now Chase Hamilton has Tyler Scott in his mirrors, although Tyler taking a couple of little hits down the back straight away and just struggled to get the boat settled a little bit there. But he's certainly pushing on and pushing hard. He has made up ground in the last lap. Lost a little bit there, but I think he's now starting to make up some ground up into the top turn, and in fact has a cheeky look up the inside. So Tyler Scott and Chase Hamilton having a red hot go here for second and third respectively at the moment as they come down the front straight away. Yellow flag's out. So it looks like I'm hearing we've got one lap to go, but I'm hearing the flag getting pulled down, so I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. But the battle is here for second at the moment, second and third, as you got Chase Hamilton on the inside in the flat out, and on the outside is Tyler Scott charging hard. These boys are building a new boat. They're building a 25 horsepower boat. I was speaking with Tyler's father, Steve, this morning. Steve, a very, very clever boat builder, and they're actually building from scratch a brand new 25 horsepower boat with a few safety innovations in it as well. So really excited to see that, and they're going to lay up the deck on that boat tomorrow. So that's exciting news. Can't wait to see Tyler stepping up out of the junior ranks and into the 25 horsepower category. He's certainly got his dad's talent and skill behind the wheel, so he's going to be one of the drivers to watch in the future. I'm seeing a checkered flag coming out, and it is. So it's checkered flag, so that's going to be Ella Nidri, ladies and gentlemen, takes the win. Well done, Ella. And into second place, he managed to hold him off in the end. It's Chase Hamilton in boat 57, the flat out, and Tyler Scott up in for third place. Couldn't quite get the job done there, but great racing from the kids. Fantastic category. Good to see my old mate Reese Duggins on board. Hello Reese, good morning. Good to see you're up and about early on a Saturday morning. We'll take a short break now as we just watch Ella come through and do a victory lap, we're going to call it, for want of a better term. We'll be back with more boat racing in just a moment. Oh, it's hard working with Neil Cullis sometimes, folks. Might change my name to Kermit. Anyway, more importantly, on the boat ramp, have a look at this, folks. Great to see an addicted boat back on the ramp. We haven't seen this for quite some time. Mikey Johnson is just down in the pits. This is the new boat, the new deal with the Pro-charged 380 cubic inch Chevrolet in it. This engine built in the US, state of the art. Couple little teething issues with it in testing, but they had a great test with it last week. I think they were out at the National Water Centre, and they're in Melbourne. And the boat, as everything that Lindsay Johnson turns out, absolutely spectacular. Great to see Stevie Day, the crew chief, here as well, and Mikey Johnson just being pushed off the ramp now in this particular boat. So it's effectively a bad boat, a blown alcohol displacement. Supercharged, turbo. Well, a Pro-charger is kind of a bit of both, actually. It's a belt-driven turbocharger for, I guess, the technically minded. And here we go. This is very exciting. First time at a race meeting for this boat. And Mikey, I just spoke to him. He's only going to go out and do an easy lap or two, so I'm not expecting anything super spectacular here. They're just going to want to make sure that all the oil pressures, water temperatures come up to what they should be. Gearbox temperatures and pressures as well. It's got the beautiful Brett Nidri gearbox in this boat. For those of you that know anything about the Johnson Racing team, you'll know that their stuff is absolutely immaculately turned out and very, very special indeed. So the boat looks fantastic on the water, and we're very excited to see how it goes. As I say, probably won't see super heaps out of it here in this one, and that was really good English by me. Thank you, Claire Shepherdley, giving me you're my paper girl. Thank you, Claire. So just been given our first couple of races here for the weekend, but let's have a look at Mikey Johnson just leading on this Pro-charged unlimited displacement boat, the Addicted. We've also got here this weekend in the unlimited ranks, we've got Tate Ramsey here with the Reckless. So pretty excited about that. Here we go. Mikey's starting to lean on this thing now. So puts the power down well. He's backed out of it half straight there, and the hatch comes up. And fingers crossed that he's just done what he's needed to do there. Did get a bit of prop blowout just out of turn number 1 here on the exit. So effectively a little bit of wheel spin from the boat there. Sounds like it's running strong. So Mikey pops a hatch up, which indicates that he's on his way back into the pits. And let's hope that he's seen everything he wants to see, and we see that boat having its first run here this weekend. It sounds and looks spectacular. Not as loud as a blown alcohol boat, that's for sure. Sort of runs the traditional pipes on that too, rather than the zoomy style pipes. So we have poles for Formula Future. No, skip that. What are we going? 25s. 25 horsepower. We have out of pole 1, Hudson Ellis in the last chance. Out of pole 2 is Sammy Martin in the Miss Martini. And out of pole 3, Baxter Ramsey in the Reckless 25. We need you in the water, please. Well, yeah, they're kids. You kids. Get them down here straight away. So 25s is the first official race on the card. We've had a couple of junior races already, of course. And Huddy Ellis, Sammy Martin and Baxter Ramsey. Sammy, pretty exciting, the new Miss Martini boat. Got an interesting livery on it. It looks like someone's been murdered on the deck. There's blood all over it. Crazy looking. And the following race after our 25 horsepowers will be 6 litre. So very excited to see. Got 3 good 6 litre boats here. We've got Leslie Tomato in Rattler, Brett Nidri and Brenton Walsh. Brenton in the Cavs Auto Parts. So the poles for those guys will be Brett out of pole 1, Les out of pole 2 and Brenton out of pole 3 in the brand new Cavs arrangement. So pretty excited to watch that one, see how the new Cavs goes. Been a long time since we've had a competitive boat named Cavs on the water, and it's great to see Lee Kavanagh up and about with a new boat. Terrific stuff. I'll take a small break now, folks, and we will be back with some 25 horsepower action in just a moment. Yep. You having to play around with this green screen, aren't you, Scotty? I can see like a shadow image of me going through the screen here. Hello, Cliff. It's the ghost of my future, Cliff. All right. Thank you, Cliff Clifton, for that. I hope you're enjoying, mate. We are messing around here. As we said, it's a bit of a test and tune for us here at GP Hydro live streaming. So we're actually setting up a virtual studio. So we're just working on getting that working at the moment. I'm just green screen at the back here. So, but hopefully we're going to... There we go. We've got a little studio going, sort of, kind of. We got... Tate in the background there as well. So this is all exciting stuff. We've got Scotty working hard. There we go. The hose down. Which way is it? That way? No, it's that way. Hose down that side. There you go. And Visho Media down there. So we're loving that. The Visho Media. Make sure you get on board with that one as well. So yeah, that looks like fun. So sitting here in my studio all by myself. I've got no friends here this weekend, unfortunately. Well, what I mean this weekend, I've got no friends normally. But we're just trying to improve things as we go out and about. And this little Melton Club Day that we're here this weekend, we've got plenty of guys here just honing their boats and honing their skills, and we're trying to do the same with our live stream as well. And just to try and make it better and better as we roll through. Hopefully a lot of you enjoyed the racing that we had on 7 Mate this week. It was very exciting to bring it to mainstream television, and free-to-air TV was really exciting to do that. So a big thank you to Sean Henshelwood, the boys Rolf and Mateus Stanisic at All the Talk Photography, Bisho Media, and of course us boys here, GP Hydro live streaming. Getting that done was really exciting, and we're going to do more and more of that stuff. So we really hope that people out there are enjoying what we're bringing. We're amateurs, and we're just trying to make it as good as we can for everybody out here, and really glad that we got a lot of positive feedback on that one as well. So really excited to do a lot more of that sort of stuff and a lot more of this sort of stuff as well. So just messing around, just trying to get a few things happening. I'll just run you through the events that we've got happening in the next couple of races. We've got the 6-litre boats coming out. We've got 25s coming out now, 6-litre boats running after them. After that, we've got speed bracket racing. I think it's an 85 or 95 mile an hour class with another Madam, Tommy Webster and Dean Borg in the Proformance. And next one on my list is actually Unlimited. So Tate Ramsey coming out in the Reckless, and Mickey Johnson in the Addicted. Now, hopefully that boat is okay after his test run that he just had then. Boat looked fantastic on the water, as every boat that is turned out by the Johnson Racing team. So I'm pretty excited to see those boys going at it. It's just a small club day sort of a setup here. And if you're in the local area, certainly come down, because we'd love to have you here, and we'd like to see as many people down here as possible. We love you watching on the live stream, but we'd love you to come down and actually have a look at the event. It's not too cold here. A few people on the live stream have been saying that it's been looks pretty miserable and cold, but it's actually not too bad. The sun's out, a little bit of warmth to the air, not too much. Probably not for the Queenslanders. They'd all probably be dying, but us Victorians coping with this quite well. It's not too bad, and it doesn't look like any rain at the moment either. And the track looks fantastic. It's got just that nice little wind ripple going across it there, which the boat drivers absolutely love that, because it can sit the boats just up on top of the water. It breaks that surface tension, and you can pick up 2 to 3 miles an hour in these type of water conditions. So the boats will be loving it out there. Got a few new boats here this weekend as well. Of course, the Cavs boat with Brenton Walsh driving that. Very excited to see the new 6-litre arrangement heading out onto the water, of course, of Lee Kavanagh. And then Mikey Johnson's boat that we just saw have a run then. That's got the Pro Charge 380 cubic inch Chevy in that, running the Unlimited class. So that's good to see. And the other boat that we've got out there is Miss Martini, Sammy Martin, in the brand new hull that's been designed and built by her father, Timmy Martin, at the fiberglass shed. And that boat looked very lively this morning, looked very quick, but Sammy certainly, it's caught her attention, and I think she's going to need to get her head around having to steer such a really twitchy and light little boat, which is something that a lot of us have jumped into those lightweight boats and thought there's something wrong with them to start with, but you just have to learn that you've got to give those sorts of boats that steering input that's required to keep them up on their running plank and keep them on the straight and narrow. So Sammy will be certainly working hard in that one today. It'll be interesting to see her progression as the day goes through. So exciting stuff. We've got our virtual studio up and about. We've got the logos, everything going on there. I've got nice to have Tate behind me there on the screen. Always nice to hang out with Big Toto, and we're going all right. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be back with you with some more boat racing in just a moment. All right, we're back on air, and we have our juniors out for another run. So this time around, we got Tyler Scott out in front in the Aquasonic, and then Chase Hamilton in the flat out, and B&R with Ellen Nidri. So Ella leading this one, flat out, and then back to the Aquasonic. So Tyler and Tyler and Chase had a really good battle there in the previous event, and it looks like it's going to shape up to be a similar sort of a deal, but they're not really able to make too much ground on Ella at the moment. She's got a very good breaking out in front. They're going to have to build another trophy room at the Nidri house, I think. And top turn, and it is tight, and you can see Tyler, oh, a little bit of a hook there. Oh, problem there for Chase Hamilton as he hooks the boat, but he managed to hold on to second, but only just. As the yellow flag comes out, and that has hurt Chase Hamilton's aspirations of getting up onto second place in the podium, because Tyler Scott nicks around the outside. He applied the pressure, and Hamilton succumbed to the pressure, hooked the boat up, and he lost a lot of track position there, and it's slotted him back into third spot. He'll be absolutely spitting chips, the competitor from the Glen Maggie District Boat Club. His father, of course, Heath Hamilton, blown boat driver extraordinaire. And Chase will be taking over blown boat duties, I would suggest. He's pretty old now. Probably past it, to be fair. You've got to move over and let the young blokes through. Checkered flag comes out, and it's going to be girl power. With the Matildas doing so well over the last week, it's still the chicks showing the boys how it's done. Ella Nidri takes a win over Tyler Scott, and then back to a kicking himself, Chase Hamilton. You won't be too happy about that one. Got Razor Ray Traplin up here. He's and his sidekick, Scotty, doing some of their best work here, camera work, getting a bit stressed because the sun came out. Well, there's not much I can do about that, Ray. That's what good photographers do. They deal with that stuff, mate. Stop your whinging. Hey, jump onto Ray's Facebook page for all the photos. They'll all be up there. Does a great job. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Scott, for coming down too. Looking forward to seeing your shots, boys. As the boats come back into the pits now. Not sure if big Rolfie Stanisic, he was tossing up whether to come here or go to the off-road cars. But he's turned up here, so Rolfie will be getting some beautiful shots as well, and we all know the All the Talk photography. Wearing the hat today, of course. Rolfie does an awesome job along with his son Matthias. And those boys had a very, very large part in the 7-mate production that was done last week. So massive thank you to those boys as well. Great job. Now, whilst we're talking about great Australians, a massive congratulations to Giovanni Carpatella and Darren Nicholson from Team 222 winning the UIM Class 1 World Offshore Championship last weekend. The Team Navy 222 boys, absolutely outstanding, beating one of the greatest of all time, Stevie Curtis, in the Husky machine. So a massive shout out to Darren, Giovanni, Peter Muddy McGrath, all the team, Sky Gregory is part of the team, Marky Tolcher, of course, the engineer there. Absolutely stellar effort by Team 222 Racing to win the World Championship Class 1 offshore. Fantastic stuff. Well done, boys and girls. 25 horsepower boats heading out onto the water now. So we see Sammy Martin just lifting her boat up out of the water, and let's see first time out for this boat. We saw her out in practice earlier on. It's quite a different looking hull design and shape, particularly the deck design to what we're used to seeing with the little wing boats. Designed and built by her father, Timmy Martin, who is a boat builder by trade and owns the business, the Fiberglass Shed. So great effort there, but it certainly looked quite lively, the boat this morning, so it's going to be interesting. Alrighty, 25 horsepower boats hitting the water now. Boats, we have the last chance with Hardy Ellis, the Miss Martini with Sammy Martin and Baxter Ramsey in the Reckless 25. This will be a pole boat start for these guys, so not the traditional clock start as normally happens with the outboard boats. This is more of an inboard style of way to start the race. And a more traditional style of starting the race. Everyone understands how this one works, so the start boat will take them up into the top end of the course. They'll turn them around, he'll bring them down, probably just before turn number 2, and the white flag will drop and we'll be racing. So they'll get them up there. They'll take them far enough up for the water to settle, because as you can see, the boat's coming out of the pit area. You've got quite a few decent sized rollers coming through, and these little 25 horsepower boats don't like big rollers. So they'll wait for that water to settle and we'll be in and away. And as I was mentioning, big Rolfie Stanisic, he just rolls down here. All the cameramen together comparing their big lenses. Is there any lens envy going on over there, you blokes? They're not listening to me, Neil. You know, these blokes all go, oh, you didn't mention me, and then they don't listen to you when you do. I'm just wondering, wonderful cameraman over there, is there any lens envy going on over there? You all comparing lenses, are you? The king rolls in, big Rolfie Stanisic. He's the king. He's one of the absolute best in the business. And I'm glad to see you came here and not the off-road racing too, mate. We're much more fun than those car racing guys. All right, here we go. So we've got boats lined up. And this will be a good little race, this one. It's going to be interesting to see. As I said before, Sammy Martin, that boat looks super, super quick in its warm-up and its practice, but it's the first time on the water, and it also looked just a little bit loose. They may have potentially altered the setup just a little bit, maybe, just to try and settle that boat down a little bit, but it'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure Timmy Martin, her father and crew chief, may have had a little bit of a chat to her about how to actually steer one of these super responsive and lightweight boats. You can see the wind, actually, if you watch the spray coming off the backs of the boats, you can see the wind blowing across the course. So if you're looking at your screen from left to right, flag drops and we're racing in 25 horsepower. And do it, Timmy Martin, yeah, having a couple of big chine walks there as she comes off the line. So that's going to be a battle for her. Baxter Ramsey is the man that's going to lead him into turn number one for the first time, with the Prey Mantis, Huddy Ellis, on the inside. He'll get that nice run around the pins and probably exit turn number one in P1. Sammy Martin into P2 as she comes out there. Very good job from her. She's hung onto that little boat very, very nicely indeed. And poor old Baxter Ramsey on the outside in the Reckless has to go the long way around, and now he's having a cheeky look up the inside. He doesn't want to hang out there for too long as they just go across the start boat washers, which makes them all jump and leap into the air a little bit. Up into turn number two for the first time, and Huddy Ellis looking all class here at the moment as he wheels that boat around, but Sammy Martin just having a cheeky look on the inside of his wash up through turn number two. And Ramsey now just in the wash and the washing machine of these other two boats, and having to do it a little bit hard at the moment. Oh, Sammy just has a bit of an awkward fly off the wash there. That boat still a brand new arrangement, so they'll still be trying to get their heads around it. Certainly got plenty of pace, and she's holding off Ramsey here very, very well at the moment. She's doing a great job. Ramsey just trying to work out the best way to try and approach this. He's in everybody else's wash. He's got a fast boat. Probably wants to have a cheeky look up the inside of Sammy Martin, but he might also be a little bit dubious about trying to go up the inside of a brand new boat with the potential of a spin out. You probably just want to be a little bit careful about where you put your nose in these ones. Yellow flag comes out, one to go. It's Huddy Ellis all the way at the moment. The Prey Mantis, he's fat arming now as he comes down the front straight away, doing a good job. Sammy Martin has a look over her shoulder, make sure there's no one up her inside, and she does a really nice job there in turn number one for the final time. So they fire up the back straight away. It's all Huddy Ellis in the last chance at the moment, doing a spectacular job. Oh, Sammy Martin gets loose down that back straight. We saw all of underneath and inside the boat. There is a massive chine walk. I mentioned chine walking to her. She said, I don't know what you're talking about. That's probably a discussion for around the dinner table. Oh, and a little bit of a hook there, but she does well. This will be a good effort if she can hold off a hard-charging Ramsey, who does have a very cheeky big look up the inside. Checkered flag comes out, drag race to the line. Huddy Ellis takes the win, but the battle's on here for second place now as they fire down the front straight away. Martin has a bit of a walk across the wash of the last chance boat, but picks up second place. And Baxter Ramsey into third place. He won't be happy about that one. So we'll wait for these kids to come out in the next round and see who can do what. But great racing there from our 25s. Next race on the card is 6 litre. We'll take a short break and be back with more racing in just a moment. Rightio, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Our first unlimited race for the day. I had it down as a 6 litre, but it looks like it might have changed, so let's run with what we got out on the course. It is Tate Ramsey in the Reckless. Marge Watson winner for 2023. And Mikey Johnson in the brand new Pro Charged Addicted. Mikey having a real dip there. He brings the boat around in the warm-up lap. Boat looks like it's getting a little bit of cavitation on the exit. Hatch comes up, so that's hopefully not heading back into the pits, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a worrying sign. And unfortunately, I think it looks like Mikey Johnson might be heading back into the pits as Tate still on an absolute high from the Marge Watson weekend. Not only a hard charger and a hard race, but one of the nicest blokes in the paddock. Very, very passionate racers, these boys, both him and his brother Blake. Unfortunately, an incident up at Dargle has seen Blake possibly out for up to, and I'm hearing a few stories last night that could be a 12-month hiatus for him after extensive damage to the boat up there in Dargle. So that's a real shame, but I'm sure the boys will get back onto that boat and get it out there. So the Reckless now just getting warm-up laps done, and these boys might actually just be doing their warm-up, possibly. Haven't had any confirmation from our officials on that, but could potentially be just a warm-up for these unlimited boats here at the moment. So Ramsey, you'll see once he gets temperatures and pressures right, we might see a big lean on it as he comes down the front straight. Not yet. Now he's starting to lean on it a little bit. And I tell you what, it never gets old, a blown alcohol boat, does it, folks? Tate Ramsey, the Reckless, current Marge Watson title holder, Australian Unlimited Displacement. Now leaning on it, and the boat looks quick. Starting to expect perfection out of this team now, and that's exactly what they're delivering at the moment. Boat looks and sounds fantastic, and Tate really starting to sink his teeth into this boat now and really get a handle on it. And that's the real skill of these blown alcohol boats, is to be able to actually put the power down out of the corner. That is where these races are won and lost, putting the power down on the exit of the corner. You can have the fastest boat on the planet, but if you can't exit those corners cleanly and fast without the boat throwing itself up in the air, you will not win one of these blown alcohol races, and that's where this guy's been so good lately, just getting the power down. It's a shorter boat in the field of blown alcohol boats, but it still puts its power down beautifully. So Tate bringing the boat back into the pitch now, and it won't be long before we see some 6-litre boats heading out onto the water here at Expert Weir at Melton Club Day for 2023. We'll be back with more racing in just a moment. I know. Rightio, folks, welcome back, and welcome back to everybody on our live stream as well. We've got 6-litre boats heading out onto the course now. 3 boats that we're looking for, B&R Engines, Rattler and Cavs. And this will be Cavs' first race meeting. Nice little club day just to do a shakedown before he has to get thrown out in amongst all the crazies that are the 6-litre category. But it's nice to have some experienced campaigners out there with Brenton. Haven't seen Brenton in a boat for quite some time. Brenton, of course, did very, very well in water ski racing many years ago now, and it's nice to have him back in a boat in something a little bit different to perhaps what he's been used to in the past, the enclosed cockpit, the Cavs auto parts machine. So Big Lee Kavanagh, exciting to see him having a boat back on the water after a hiatus of many, many years. Then, of course, on pole, we got Brett Nidry, the great man himself. Brett does most of the engineering for a lot of these V-drive boats with his gearboxes and his pumps and all these beautiful engines that he builds, including a lot of the supercharged alcohol engines that Brett builds. Very, very clever guy. Just spoke to him a couple of minutes ago down in the pitch. He said he hasn't been in the boat for quite some time, so he'll be getting his head back around it. And another guy that hasn't done heaps lately, but is certainly a very experienced campaigner, is Les Tamata in the Rattler. So great to have Leslie out there as well. Ripper bloke, very, very experienced campaigner. Came up through the open cockpit ranks, through the days where it was very tough and wild, and now into his enclosed cockpit boat, the Rattler 2. And it's a very, very quick boat indeed as well. So Nidry should be the guy that, being on pole, and probably the guy that spent the most time in his boat lately, would be the guy to watch out for. But I think you've got some pretty far, and total unknown quantity. Brenton Walsh in the Cavs machine. I don't think he'll be too shy on the throttle when he comes down. The boat beautifully prepared by Kavanagh Auto Parts. As we wait for the water to settle, start boat. Big Phil Kelly and the Dun Racing, as always, doing a beautiful job in our start boat. Phil, an ex-water ski racer himself, and has been the starter here at Melton for many, many years and does a brilliant job. They'll be absolutely beside themselves when he retires, I'll give you the tip. I still think he's got a lot of years left in him, the old fabulous Phil, at the moment. So we bring the 3 6-litre boats down. Big welcome to everybody watching here on GP Hydro live streaming. My name's Dave Bishop, and we are at the Melton Club Day here for 2023. Exford Weir, Melton, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. White flags up. And hangs on to him for a while, but lets him go. And we're racing in the 6-litre category. Good start from all 3 boats as they fight out into turn number 1. Tamata and Nidry hard on each other's chines there as they go down through turn number 1. Nidry does a beautiful job. Tamata, Nidry's had a problem. Unbelievable stuff. That never happens. Nidry goes out the back door, and I'm not sure what's happened there, but that leaves the door open for Leslie Tamata to take the lead back to Brenton Walsh in the Cavs Auto Parts. Oh, Walsh, what's happened there? I don't know what went on there. He nosedived the boat. Crazy stuff. Nidry trying to restart his boat, but he's got flames coming out the pipes. That thing doesn't want to go. Down in the bottom turn, the officials have decided that he's far enough up the course that he's not posing a risk to the other 2 boats, so the race will continue on at the moment. So Leslie Tamata is a guy that's just hung everything together beautifully at the moment. Walsh now looking a little untidy up through that top turn. Tamata doing a beautiful job. And unfortunately, Brett Nidri just can't get the B&R engine fired. The Toyota Racing Developments NASCAR engine has said no thanks, I don't want any part of this. So just picking up there on Brenton Walsh as he fires up the back straight now. Lizzie Tamata, checkered flag will come out for him as he brings a Rattler 2 down the front straight away for the final time. And Liz Tamata takes the win in a Rattler 2. Good drive from him. Back up into second place, Brenton Walsh in the Cavs Auto Parts. A wild ride for him up into turn number 2 as well. Not sure what went on there. We'll need a debrief on that one. But good racing as always. Only 3 6-litre boats out there, only 2 of them finished, and there was still plenty of action. So you can understand why people come to watch these 6-litre boats, especially when we've got fields of 10 and 15 of these boats. It is action aplenty. Hopefully Nidri hasn't done any terminal damage to the Toyota Racing Developments NASCAR engine. Certainly didn't have a big rev. It didn't sound like it was a driveline issue to me, but almost sounded like it just shut down. And trying to restart, we were seeing flames coming out the pipe, so I'm not sure if that's a timing issue or what's gone on there, but certainly didn't want to refire. He'll get towed back into the pits, and he's going to be a busy boy this afternoon trying to get that boat sorted out. Neil, my cameraman, reckons it's a dodgy engine builder. Well, I wonder if he's brave enough to say that to Brett. Well, I've just said on the live stream so you can re-watch it. You're in trouble, Cullis. So Nidri climbing out of the cockpit of his boat, but please put your hands together for the great man, Lizzie Tamata, in the Rattler 2. Beautifully presented, beautifully turned out, and driven to perfection to take the win in 6-litre. Next race on the cards, folks, will be 95 mile an hour, and it'll be another Madam and Proformance. I'll take a short break. We'll be back with more racing in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to see a little bit of 95 mile an hour action. What's 95 mile an hour? I hear you people asking in the crowd that haven't seen boat racing before. Well, these are open cockpit boats, so there's a restriction on how fast you can go in an open cockpit boat these days, and the restriction's 105 mile an hour. But there's three categories that you can run in. There's 85, 95 and 105. I believe 105 is about to change, much to the dismay of some people, but I think it's a good thing. This is a 95 mile an hour category, so all boats have GPSs in them, and if they go over their allocated speed, they are disqualified. So we'll watch these boats coming down. We've got two, and you can see an open cockpit and an enclosed cockpit boat. Another madam on the inside with Tom Webster and Dean Borg out of South Australia in the enclosed cockpit Performance machine. Flag drops and we're racing, and a good start there from Tommy Webster. He gets a very strong pull down the first chute in the madam as he tips it in nice and hard. Tommy's father, Bob, of course, campaigned this boat for many, many years. And it is a super, super quick machine. You just want to be careful he doesn't break out of his allotted speed bracket here. He fires up into the top turn, turn number 2 for the first time. One of the boats popping a little bit. It might be Borg, I think. Madam looks like it's very, very strong as it fires down the front chute. Tommy Webster doing a beautiful job, but Borg looks like he's come off the pace a little bit. And it does sound like it's misfiring a little bit, that boat. So a couple of problems there for Dean Borg at the moment. In the Performance, you can hear it really coughing and spluttering as he tries to accelerate out of the bottom turn. And that is not a happy boat at the moment. Let's hope it's only a simple fix for the boys, but that's what these club days are all about, test and tune. Webster, on the other hand, no such issues. Yellow flag comes out, 1 lap to go. Oh, he has 2 bites at turn number 1 on his final turn. Struggling a little bit to get the power down. Borg still with drama, and you can hear on deceleration that thing is not sounding happy at all. He's continuing on at this stage, so hopefully all of his gauges are reading as they should. Front chute, checkered flag comes out. Tommy Webster takes a win. Fine style for the madam. Great racing there from Tommy Webster in the madam. And Big Dean Borg out of Adelaide in South Australia brings it home, and it actually sounds a little bit better on that final lap. But still popping on deceleration there. So unfortunately for Dino, he's got a little bit of work to do on that boat. So that wraps up 95 mile an hour, but the next race on the card's going to be a cracker, ladies and gentlemen. We've only got 2 of them here, but it is unlimited displacement. Reckless and Addicted. Tate Ramsey and Mickey Johnson. Pretty excited to see both these boats out on the water. It's always a good day when you see Ramsey out on the water and pushing hard. And the brand new deal for the Addicted racing team, the Johnson racing team. Just chatting to Lindsay, they're still getting tune into that boat. They've actually got Pete from Motec online doing the tune in that boat here today, so he's actually not here. But Peter, a great man from Motec, and he'll be getting the tune into that boat sorted out. So I'll take a short break, and we will be back with more racing in just a moment. Rightio, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the water from the one more commentary position, Nathan Bartzak. He gave this to me at the Southern 80 and wanted me to wear it. It's a very stupid thing to do, Nathan, but it's nice to see you, mate. And I'm looking absolutely resplendent in my one more racing top today. Don't know where your boat is. But anyway, more importantly, we've got boats on the water and they are our juniors. So let's have a look at this one. They are doing the dock starts and we're away and racing. And the wind's just settled down a little bit here at the moment. So... And we've got a good little battle going on at the head of the pack. These little wing boats are powered by 15 horsepowers for our juniors, our J3s. And it is Alan Idri who's out in front, back to Chase Hamilton in second spot. And unfortunately, Tyler Scott must have got a bad start there because he's way back in the field. They may be handicapping these kids' potential. I haven't been given the word on that, but either way, this is going to be an enthralling battle because I'd say Tyler Scott, probably the quickest boat on the course. You see him taking a couple of big hits on the exit of turn number one there as he fires up the back straight, and he's got a lot of ground to try and make up. Now, he's probably got the potential to do it as he heads up into turn number two. Watching rest of the boats come through, up through turn two there, and that is Ella doing a beautiful job as she brings it around very, very comfortably and smoothly and brings it down the front straight away. See Chase Hamilton just drops out of her wash and then back into her wash, and same deal there for Tyler. So back now with our race leader. In fact, watching Tyler Scott now down the front straightaway, just trying to get the job done here, but he's he's made up quite a bit of ground from the previous lap, but the yellow flag's out. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get the job done here as he tips it down into the port turn at the bottom end of this beautiful Melton course. You can see on the outside there, Chase Hamilton on his outside in the flat out. But Ellen Idri a long way in front at the moment. We're on the yellow flag lap, and she'd have to spin the boat out up the top here. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on her up through the top turn, but we're watching the two boys as they come through. So focusing back now on Ella as she comes down the front straight away. This is going to be a pretty solid win for her, and you'll see the other two boats in the background there as they go through. So a good battle going on for second. Ellen Idri's going to take the win there, but we'll try and pick up the boats running in second and third now because it is going to be a drag race to the line for them. And it is going to be just Chase Hamilton over the top of Tyler Scott. A hard charging Tyler Scott. He nearly gets there in the end, but no cigar, unfortunately for him. So third place there for Tyler. Chase Hamilton nicely up into second place, and Ella Nidri taking the win. So next race we do have on the card, folks, is the Big Bangers coming out to have a bit of a play. Tate Ramsey in the Reckless and Mikey Johnson in the Pro Charged Addicted. First race for that boat, so exciting times for the Johnson Racing team and Addicted Racing. It'll be very interesting to see how that boat goes there. As I say, Pete Sweeney from Motec has been on the internet tuning that boat from afar. I think he's still away. He may even be over in the US at the moment, but still able to tune the boat here at Melton. How good's the technology? It's just amazing. All right, so we'll get these boats turned around and we will be out with our unlimited boats in just a moment. This is the 2023 Melton Club Day here at Exford Weir, the Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. I hope you're enjoying the live broadcast at home, and I hope you're enjoying your day here as we roll through. Plenty more races to come your way. Big thank you to everybody. Hope you're having a great time. We'll be back real soon. Nice and quickly, so it also makes them handle a little bit better. Just get a little bit more slide in the corners rather than sticking on and sucking on in those glassy conditions. So although it doesn't look quite as pretty as glassy water, it's actually better for the boats. And you see the washers just rolling through there from the boats heading up the start area. So they're the washers that we try and get cleared, so hence the reason they take them right up the top there, and then they let the water settle, let these rollers roll through, and you can see them. If you're watching at home, you see them quite clearly on the screen, and if you're watching here on site, you can certainly see those rollers just running through into the bank. Melton's quite a good bank. It's got angled banks there which do absorb these rollers quite nicely. They don't tend to bounce back out onto the course too much like you get with concrete walls like Yarrawonga, for example. The waves actually hit the walls and then bounce back and go back out onto the course, whereas on a course like this and like Epiloc, the banks actually absorb those waves rather than sending them back out onto the course. So it is very good for that. So they take them up into the top turn, and the course settles itself down. As I've mentioned before, that little bit of wind chop, just nice. And these boys will be pretty happy with this. So Michael Johnson running in the Addicted boat. It's a brand new arrangement, this boat. It is a pro-charged machine, 380 odd cubic inch small block, and Ramsey with the traditional supercharged alcohol engine running out of pole. I'd expect Ramsey to run away with this one, but you never know in these races, do you? First race for the Addicted. Mikey Johnson will definitely just be getting a feel for how this boat puts its power down, and it'll be interesting to see when the flag drops how it does put its power down. Let's watch this one. And goes the call, and we're away, and a good start there. Both boats putting the power down nicely. Randy's got a little bit of pace there. Johnson runs nice and deep, hard, wide, round the pole too. And that's a good start there for Mikey J. Reckless stands up as he accelerates out in the back turn. Thank you, Sammy. You're a legend. And up into the top turn we go. Ramsey doing a beautiful job. So I'd expect Ramsey to run away with this one at the moment. As I said, Johnson still coming to terms with this boat. Ramsey down into turn number 1 for the second time, and Johnson's had a problem. So unfortunately, teething problems for the brand new Coast Coast sees Mikey Johnson pull into the pits, and that leaves the door open for Tate Ramsey to head up into the top turn. He can dial the wick down here, but he's using this as a test session. And all the practice he can get in these blown boats is good practice, and he'll just put the power down. He really is on top of his game at the moment. Yellow flag comes out. Let's see how he can put the power down out of turn number 1, and he puts it down a little bit hard. The boat jumps out of the water, level. Reasonably happy with the way it leapt out of the water there. He probably just got on a little bit hard and blew the prop out of the water just a touch, but certainly didn't throw its nose up. And he gets the power down nicely out of turn number 2, and he brings it home for a win. So Tate Ramsey gets the job done nicely, checkered flag out, and Reckless, the current Marge Watson champion, shows why he's a Marge Watson champion. And a good solid run there from him. Unfortunately, problems there for the addictive machine. Saw a few flames coming out the exhaust as Mikey backed off as well, so I hope there's not an engine issue going on there, but those boys will get that back, and that's what today's all about, is trying to get some tune into this particular boat and trying to actually get it into a space where it can be competitive in a unlimited field. So good run there from Ramsey. Johnson, well, a learning curve for those boys. That boat will go back into the pitch, and I'm sure plenty of work will go on there. This is the Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club 2023 Club Day. Hope you're enjoying the racing. We'll be back real soon. back on the front one was sort of in the road thing, so I managed to work out. So I bought 2 needles that are still, yes, you know, I sort of got where I wanted. Yeah, and anyway, I took the run last weekend. Breaking down in top gear under load. It's fine up through the run.
Yeah, we helped Brett. Did his distributor.
Now I've got plugs and
That's all it was, broken.
but I found starting to go for the bases.
The blue.
maybe we should take your bring the MG and you bring your whole to Yarrawonga and put them on display. That'd be pretty cool. They need to get some cars on display there, don't they? Because they have the boat. Yeah. They could get some old cars. All right, let's do it. Oh, sneaky Neil just putting the camera on me there, mate. Lucky I wasn't picking my nose. 25 horsepower action on the water, ladies and gentlemen. We got Last Chance, Miss Martini, and Reckless 25. Huddy Ellis, Sammy Martin, and Baxter Ramsey. And it looks like Sammy Martin's out of pole 1. We got Baxter out of 2 and Huddy Ellis out of 3. So a reverse grid from race number 1 for these guys. So white flag flying high in the Dun Racing start boat. Big Phil Kelly. Fed and watered now. Flag drops, so you know what stops him. We are racing. Sammy Martin gets a great start there. The outside her is Baxter Ramsey and Huddy Ellis. You can throw a blanket over them as they fire down into turn number 1 for the first time. Great racing from the 25s here. Only the 3 boats, but terrific stuff. Sammy Martin, the brand new boat. That boat looks like it turns very, very nicely. In fact, using that pole position to her advantage and pulling away. Huddy Ellis and Baxter Ramsey go side by side. A pair of praying mantises, those two boys. They're all arms and legs. And Baxter, oh, wild ride there for Baxter as he throws a nose up in the air. In fact, Sammy having a big chine walk there as she goes up in. That's the start boat wash that they're going over there. So working over it. Oh, and Sammy Martin's had a hook and she's missed a turn boy. She's gone up the inside of the turn boy there, so that's disappointing for her. So that leaves the door open now for Baxter Ramsey, but he's got Huddy Ellis hard on his outside as they fire down the front chute into turn number 1 for the second time. And a great little battle going on here between these two. Sammy Martin will be absolutely kicking herself with that one, but as we said, this particular boat, brand new arrangement, so they're still trying to get a little bit of a handle on that boat, but the real battle's at the head of the pack here. It looks like Baxter's got a little bit of a break here now as he fires up in the Reckless machine into turn number 2. Baxter out of the Ramsey Racing team, of course, and Huddy Ellis running in second spot there in the Last Chance machine. And the race is on down the front straight away. This is absolute ding-dong stuff here at the moment. Baxter's got plenty of pace. Slightly smaller boat, so he should have slightly better acceleration and top end. But, of course, if the course roughens up any more, that's going to be Huddy Ellis's cue to charge up past him. Yellow flag now, they're on their last lap. So Huddy Ellis praying for wind or something, because at the moment he just hasn't got the top end to get the job done here on Baxter. Up into the final turn. And just out the back door there, but Sammy Martin having a wild ride down the back chute. So up through the top turn for the final time, and it's going to be a drag race to the line. And I don't think Huddy Ellis is going to have the pace in that boat to get the job done here. So it's going to be Baxter Ramsey. Put your hands together for Baxter. Gets the job done very nicely in the Reckless. Back to the Last Chance with Huddy Ellis and Sammy Martin. That little boat just not sitting where she would like it to sit at the moment. It's a little bit loose. But she comes through in third place and just happy to be upright and sucking air, I would say, because it's a little bit of a wild ride up there into turn number 2. Great racing from our 25s. This is the 2023 Melton Club Day here at Expert Weir, Melbourne Runabout Speedboat Club here in Victoria, Australia. We'll be back with more racing in just a moment.
sit in your seat and start talking while you're filming.
understand. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Never fear, Bisho always ends up in the commentary box on time and ready to go. We have 105 or 95 boats heading out onto the drink now here at the Exford Weir at beautiful Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club. Welcome back to everybody watching online as well on GP Hydro live streaming. And we are racing, and a good clean start there for the Madam again as young Tommy Webster gets the hammer down and goes into turn number one nicely. Dean Borg sounds like he's got that boat a little bit more dialed in this one. Doesn't sound like it's breaking down like it was in race number one. Tommy just getting off the cabs and letting that beautiful little levering hand rip in the craft, rip down the front straight away. All boats sitting absolutely beautifully as well. And that's a much sharper show from the Performance boat, but he still hasn't quite got the pace to knock off a hard charging Tommy Webster as he fires up the back chute. Yellow flag will be produced on this lap for Tommy. Slides it and drifts it up through turn number two, driving the boat absolutely beautifully, in fact. Great job here from Tommy now as he gets down into the fourth turn at the bottom end of this beautiful Exford Weir course. And the Madam off the cabs on the throttle and fires away down the back straight away. So, certainly not going to get beaten from there. Dean Borg now looking very, very strong as he fires up the back straight as well. The Performance machine all the way over from South Australia. Doing very, very nicely, but it's Tommy Webster all the way home in the Madam. Another big win for him in the 95 mile hour category. Great run there from Tommy. Dean Borg, he'll bring it down. That boat sounds a lot stronger than it did in race number one. So good to see they've got on top of that one, but they still need to find a little bit more pace out of that boat if they're going to knock off that Madam machine here today. So another quality race there from these two boats. Both of them 6 litre boat, 6 litre category boats, but running in this 95 mile an hour bracket. And a good run there, so Borg should be a lot happier with that one. That boat sounded a lot stronger in that particular run, but still just needs to find a little bit of pace. If he can get on pole for the next one, he might just be able to push and shove Tommy around a little bit in the corners and maybe try and get in over the top of him. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys progress throughout the day, particularly once Dean Borg in Performance can put the boat on pole. Great racing. We'll be back with some more racing very soon. This is the Exford Weir Melbourne Runabout Speedboat Club Club Day for 2023. Bit of a chat, you blokes, do the green screen thing again.
Yeah, Neil, if you want to just
back, everybody, live, and we're just playing around with our live stream here, and hopefully some interesting.
Can you turn the sound up on
Possibly could have got something maybe a little bit better looking than me to put on the screen, but doing a great job, the boys at GB Hydro live streaming. Now, I just did hear word as well, talking to Robert Masala this morning, that there's going to be some live, well, some television, some free-to-air television for a new series that is coming our way, full blown alcohol boats. So should be very, very interesting indeed, and should be great fun. So just Neil trying to tell me stuff here, but that's all I know.
The sound coming from Bisha is very soft.
So that should be an interesting category and a good series. And sorry, we're just working on our audio here at the moment. So in fact, I think our problem lies with that. It's some batteries.
I've got 2 double A's on the way up there.
Yep. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, let me just change these batteries for Bisha and come back to you.
Just let me finish these topics. Put the brakes on, Johnny. Right, yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 6 litre category boats on the water as we speak. Brett Nidri, Les Tamata and Brenton Walsh. So, Brenton, of course, son of Brendan. Brendan, a very well-known water ski racer. And Brendan had a bit of a wild ride in race number 1 up into the top turn. Nidri, I have not had a report from the pits about what went wrong with that boat, but it looks like it was only minor because it got it back out on the drink. So start boat will take these guys up to the top turn. Les Tamata was the class of the field in race number 1. Leslie getting it done, representing the Victorian Speedboat Club out at Lake Epilock. Ray Traplin's home club. My home club too, I'm a member of the VS. Big Ivor Godsell, he's here. I don't know, I think he's working, but he just seems to be sitting up there talking, really. Not sure what he's meant to be doing today. But we just love having Ivor here, the Godsell boys. We love them. They're good operators. I don't know where his brother is today. Is he here, is he? Nice of Greg to make an appearance. Good Bendigo boy. Sorry, mate. No, that's, see, if I've got the microphone, it's my right and my duty to pick on everybody. You guys would be disappointed if I didn't. Hope everybody's enjoying the live streaming. If you've got friends or family at home and they want to have a look at the racing, let them know. It's live streaming through all the usual channels. GP Hydro live streaming, Bisho Media, probably Victorian Speedboat Club, and of course the MRSBC, which is where we are today. Melbourne Runabout and Speedboat Club here at beautiful Exford Weir, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, and we have so far avoided the rain, so we're happy about that. And I'm going to, after this race, I'm going to interview Michael Johnson because he's just rolled down into the commentary box. He looks very keen to have a chat with poor old Bisho. So we'll have a chat with you once this race is done. Thank you, Mikey. Mike, are you out? Right, so we'll have a chat with him about that. But we'll just get this race through now because his 6 litre boats will be heading down. Lee Kavanagh's brand new Cavs auto parts machine being driven by Brenton Walsh. Les Tamata in the Rattler and Brett Nidri in the BNR. Here we go. So picking him up now. So we've got Tamata out of pole. Little bit of push and shove going on here as well with these boys. Nidri out of 2 and Walsh out of 3. Waiting for the flag to drop as we bring them down. Interesting lines. You can see Nidri taking the wide line, using the Pasala method, I would suggest. And the flag drops and we're racing, and a good start there for Lee Tamata. In fact, everybody hitting first pin in. A nice little line up there, and Tamata gets the best out of that. In fact, Nidri loses a lot of ground. Walsh got a good exit, but then threw the boat up onto its side, and unfortunately lost a little bit of ground as they go up into turn number 2 for the first time. Leslie Tamata is the man at the moment, using that pole position to his advantage. Nidri drops into his wash, and Walsh goes to the outside of him. So Tamata looking very, very strong here at the moment. He was very happy with the performance in a minute. Nidri up into second, and hard on the Cavs is Brenton Walsh. In the Cavs auto parts, a real battle between these two as they fire the back chute. A little bit of push and shove there, a little bit of a jump for Nidri there as he loses a little bit of drive out of the prop. Tamata, though, really doing the business at the front end of the pack at the moment. Fires down the front chute and looks unbeatable at this point as he picks up the yellow flag, but the real battle is here. Absolutely double the battle between Brett Nidri on the inside and Brenton Walsh on the outside. Walsh runs out wide line as customary Leslie says, thank you very much. I'll have that as they fire up into the top turn for the final time. Leslie Tomato out in front, doing it quite comfortably. Oh, he has a wild ride there. Both get shown sideways, but Leslie Tomato takes the win. Comfortable win for him. Across the line into second place is going to be Brent Indry. A hard charging Brenton Walsh down the outside of him. Great racing as always from our 6 litre boats. So I've got Mikey Johnson here with me now. I might just get you to come through into the commentary box here if you would be so kind, Michael. Drag yourself over here. We got 2 mics, we've got stuff going on, we've got live stream, we've got it all happening. So we've got look at our live studio here. There's the camera over there, mate. There you go. The people want to see your beautiful head, mate. Mikey, it's great to have you back, mate. I know you've been working on this boat for quite a while now, over a year, I would have to say, or maybe even longer, 3 years. So it's unbelievable. But Pro Charger, you've been testing it. You've had some ordinary tests, and then I think this week you had a good, positive test. What's going on today, please?
Yeah, so we've had few dramas leading up to getting it sorted, and we were pretty close, and then made some other decisions, made some changes, went probably backwards, so we changed it back, tried something else, and then we went forwards. We had a really positive testing day the other day, and right at the end of the testing session we had a small hiccup, which we assumed was a small hiccup. It maybe looks like it was bigger than we thought, so it's reared its head today. It's lost oil pressure, and looks like we're going to have to do a rebuild.
Oh, it's a shame, mate. Yeah, it looked like it was going pretty well. Looked like it was blowing its prop out a little bit on acceleration. I think you got plenty of acceleration.
Yeah, look, it's just the way I'm driving it. I'm just flat out of the corner. That's how I've always driven the 6 litre, and I think it's easier to do it that way and pitch the boat with the cab plate instead of trying to throttle it with the throttle. Whether that's right or wrong, don't know. We'll find out. I've only done a race and a half in it, so we'll rebuild. We have an engine coming from America that we had built sort of 2 years ago. It's finally arriving. That may be the backup plan for now. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to make Windsor, which we're really disappointed about. That's sort of a special place for me. I really love racing there for a lot of reasons, and was keen to support them after 3 years of floods and other shit going on, and losing the bank and losing the clubhouse, and they've gone through all kinds of stuff. So we'll be back, but a bit more time now.
It's a real shame, mate. You guys put your heart and soul into it. The boat's always beautifully turned out. It's great to see Stevie Day here and your dad as well. But I'm sure you'll be back, and as you say, you got the backup engine, mate. So hopefully that arrives and you can get that fitted up. And that's a more traditional blown engine, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's a like 100% traditional blown engine. It's it's a 408 cubic inch block, so it's quite small cubic inch. It's made to rev it. It's got a 1471 big and ugly bird catcher on it. It looks the traditional way, so it has a little bit more power than what we've got now, but it's got a lot more torque. So it's going to, it's going to take a little bit harder to drive. We may put that in. We may rebuild this thing. We don't really know the extent of the damage, so we'll find out. But yeah, we are planning to run the traditional blown engine. In saying that, like the limited time I have had in the boat with this setup, it feels quite good. Like obviously I haven't driven a conventional blown boat, but I've been watching them for a long time. And one thing that a lot of them have always told me is you can't pedal them around a corner, and I could pedal this thing around the corner, which was really good. So it is promising, and I don't think we're going to give up on this setup. But yeah, just more time now.
It's interesting, mate. I mean, that's a boat. That boat you've run for quite some time with a 6 litre engine in it. Do you feel like that's an advantage, the fact that you have driven this boat before? It's not, the whole thing's not completely new. You just got more power and it gets delivered differently, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so being familiar with the boat, you obviously get immediate confidence in the boat. So you know what it's going to do when you turn it and stuff like that. So and the other advantage is this engine isn't very different to what we were running. It's still a NASCAR engine. It's still a high revving thing. It's just got a Pro Charger hanging off the side of it, and it's got another 400 horsepower. So as much as it's got more power, it's still very similar to what we had in terms of weight and setup and stuff like that. So it was certainly an advantage to have that. And, you know, once I got the power down and I went into a corner, I just felt like I was cornering like I cornered the other two boats, like this one and when it had the 6 litre and then 2 Addicted with the 6 litre. So there's not much difference between this boat and 2 Addicted. This boat's heavier, the cell's a little bit further forward. It hasn't got as good of a turning setup on it as 2 Addicted does. Like 2 Addicted I can pretty much turn flat out. This thing I couldn't even in a 6 litre. So yeah, there is some slight differences, but yeah, 100% having the familiarised boat certainly helps a lot.
Oh, mate, it's good to see you here. Unfortunate today, but that's what racing's all about. You're trying to do something a little bit different, so these things happen. Hopefully Lindsay's wallet isn't too injured, and we see you back soon.
Yeah, these things happen, mate. It's part of racing. You can't expect it all to go smoothly. We had a pretty good run in 6 litre. We only ever hurt 2 engines, and neither of them were our fault. I got hosed down one time, and we had a bad batch of fuel the other time. So it's you know, it's time for us to have a harder time to get going.
Go you, Mikey. Have a good rest of your day, mate. Enjoy, and thanks for coming out and having a chat.
No worries, thanks, mate.
On you, Mikey. Thanks, mate. Mikey Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Always a gentleman, and always very interesting to listen to what these are doing and what they've got to say. No one does it quite like you.
Making sure he doesn't blow away in the wind.
No, I'm getting old and fat, mate.
Oh.
And wonky.